The words hit like a slap, sharper than the clink of silverware on porcelain. My fork froze in midair, hovering over the overcooked roast beef Mom had slaved over. Or so she claimed. Dad's eyes, cold and judgmental as always, bored into me across the table. "You're not half the woman your sister is," he repeated, as if I hadn't heard it the first time. Mom nodded, her lips pursed in that familiar mix of pity and disapproval. My husband, Mark, sat beside me, his hand reaching for mine under the table, but I yanked it away. The room spun. I pushed my chair back with a screech that echoed my rage, stood up, and stormed out, the front door slamming behind me like a punctuation mark on years of swallowed resentment. I drove aimlessly that night, tears blurring the streetlights into halos. How dare they? My sister, perfect Emily, married to a doctor, 2 kids, a house with a white picket fence. Me, stuck in a rut with Mark. Our marriage a comfortable but fading echo of what it once was. We'd been together 10 years, no kids yet because timing wasn't right, as he always said. But lately the cracks had widened. And there was Alex, my coworker, with his easy smiles and listening ears. It started innocent, a coffee here, a late-night text there. But after that dinner, innocence felt like a lie I couldn't afford. When I got home hours later, Mark was waiting on the couch, his face etched with worry. "Sarah, what happened back there? Your parents, they're just old-fashioned." His voice was soft, tentative, like he was handling fragile glass. I collapsed beside him, burying my face in his shoulder. He smelled like home, like safety. "They're right," I whispered. "I'm not enough." He pulled me close, murmuring reassurances, but doubt lingered in his eyes. That was the first clue he gave me, though I didn't see it then. Suspicion is a slow poison. It seeps in unnoticed. The next few weeks blurred into a haze of guilt and thrill. Alex and I crossed the line at a work conference, the hotel room a whirlwind of forbidden passion. "You deserve better," he whispered against my skin, his words a balm to the wounds my family had reopened. I believed him. Back home, I hid it well, or so I thought. I'd delete texts, shower twice, fabricate stories about overtime. Mark was busy with his job at the accounting firm, poring over spreadsheets late into the night. But I noticed the shifts, his glances lingering a second too long when my phone buzzed, the way he'd ask casual questions about my day that felt probing. One evening, as rain pattered against the windows, Mark cooked dinner, my favorite, lasagna. "Tell me about your week," he said, setting the table with unusual care. His tone was light, but his eyes searched mine. "Busy," I replied, forcing a smile. "That project with Alex is killing me." The name slipped out too easily. Mark's fork paused. "Alex? The guy from marketing?" He chuckled, but it sounded hollow. "You mention him a lot lately." My heart stuttered. "He's just a colleague." We ate in silence after that, the air thick with unspoken words. That night, in bed, he turned away from me, his back a wall. Denial wrapped around me like a blanket. Maybe he was just tired. Suspicion festered. I caught him once, staring at my phone on the counter while I was in the shower. When I emerged, he was scrolling through his own, but his face was flushed. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just work email." Lies beget lies. The anger in me simmered. How dare he doubt me when my own family had shredded my self-worth? But beneath it, heartbreak gnawed. Mark had been my rock, the one who saw me when others didn't. Now I was eroding us from the inside. The clues piled up, subtle at first. A receipt for a lunch I claimed was solo, but the total was for 2. Perfume that wasn't mine lingering on my coat. Wait, no, that was my new scent, but he noticed the change. "You smell different," he said one morning, kissing my cheek goodbye. His voice held a question. I laughed it off, trying something new. But his embrace felt tighter, desperate. I hated myself then, the way betrayal twisted love into something ugly. Then came the denial phase for him. I'd see him shake his head, as if convincing himself it was nothing. We'd have good days, movie nights where we'd laugh like old times, his arm around me, my head on his chest. "I love you," he'd say, and I'd echo it, meaning it even as guilt choked me. But the tension built, a storm gathering. One weekend, he suggested a getaway. To reconnect, he said. I agreed, but canceled last minute with a work emergency. His face fell, but he nodded. Okay. Be safe. That was when anger flickered in his eyes, brief but scorching. The collapse started small. I forgot to log out of my email on the shared laptop. Mark found the messages, not the explicit ones, but enough. Can't wait to see you again. Last night was amazing. He confronted me that evening, his voice trembling. Who's Alex really? The room spun, echoes of that dinner with my parents. I denied it at first, tears streaming. It's not what you think. But lies crumble under truth's weight. He showed me the email, his hands shaking. How long, Sarah? Anger exploded then, his mine. Since you stopped seeing me. I shouted, the words spilling out. My parents think I'm worthless and you're always working, never here. He recoiled, heartbreak raw on his face. I trusted you. We built this together. We screamed, cried, the foundation of our marriage cracking wide. He paced, fists clenched, denial giving way to fury. How could you? I had no answer, only sobs. In the end he left that night, bag packed hastily. I need space, he said, his voice breaking. The door clicked shut, and I crumpled to the floor, the weight of it all crashing down. Betrayal isn't just the act. It's the unraveling, the trust shattered like glass. I thought of my sister, perfect Emily. Maybe she was better. But as dawn broke, I realized the pain I'd caused was mine to own. Mark deserved more. We both did. Months later, divorce papers arrived. I signed them, heart heavy but resolute. The dinner with my parents had been the spark, but the fire was my doing. Now alone I reflect on the wreckage. Trust, once broken, leaves scars that whisper warnings. I pushed my chair back that night, but it was our life I upended.